I'm ready.
Huh?
Good morning. Welcome to Duke University in Cameron Indoor Stadium. Sitting next to me are Quay Miller, senior, and senior Jaylyn Sherrod. Reminder to silence all cell phones. And we'll start with questions for the student athletes today. A reminder to say your name and media outlet prior to the question.
Brian Howell from the Boulder Daily Camera. Can both of you just talk about the excitement of being back in this spot? You know, last year, obviously, Colorado ended a 9-year drought, but being back here 2 years in a row. Can you guys, both of you, talk about that excitement?
Yeah, it's just another opportunity to keep playing and keep showcasing this team and how good we really are. And I think, like, over my career, I just get a lot of gratitude because it's been, like, a work up to this point. And I don't think 4 years ago a lot of people would be able to say Colorado would be in this position. So, yeah, I'm just thankful for the opportunity.
Yeah, just going off what Jay said, it's just exciting. Like I said, when I first started playing college basketball, I never thought I'd be going this far with it. So just to be going this far with a really good program, it's just exciting.
Bob Sutton with the AP. Jaylyn, why do you think it's surprising that Colorado is in this position now? You said that people didn't think you would be here before.
Yeah, when I first got here, I think it was just like a rebuilding of the program. But I think now it's more so, I don't know too much about people outside of the program, but it's almost an expectation to be here. So I think that just goes to show, like, the responsibility that we put on ourselves as a team and as a coaching staff to have the expectations to be here at the end of every season.
For both of you, what do you think you learned from last year's experience that's going to maybe help you tomorrow night or maybe throughout the weekend if you're here?
I would say last year's experience, just for me, like, you have to literally play every game like it's your last entering March. And I think that for me, that just means, like, literally I have to play like that's probably going to be my last game. And I can't take any steps off. Like, every possession counts and every mistake is going to count. And you just have to prioritize every decision.
For either player, how have you guys used the off week since the loss to Washington State to kind of refocus and reset as a team?
I would say we took time out, make sure our bodies feel good, for one. And then, two, just focusing on what we can do. I mean, leading up to this, other than Sunday, we didn't know who we were going to play, so it was more so focusing on what we need to execute offensively and defensively and get better on us. And I think that's just been our focus this whole time, like, just worried about what we have to do as a team more so than worrying about our opponent.
Quay, do you want to add something to that?
I would say I took that week really to focus on my mental and just my game. Yeah.
So on Sunday, both of you expressed some excitement about facing somebody new that you'd never seen before, and you were excited about all that prep. What have you learned about Middle Tennessee since Sunday?
I think that we learned that they're a scrappy team. Definitely not to be taken, like, lightly. We heard that, I think their coach said, like, they had one of the best one-on-one players or something like that. And I think that we're just excited for the challenge. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they're a good team. They won their conference, and teams don't win their conference by accident. So I think, like Quay said, we highly respect them, and we're very excited to get out there and play against a team that, like we've never seen them and we've never played against them before. But I think the Pac also has built us up for this experience. So.
Sorry, just one more. Cameron Indoor is one of the more historic venues in college basketball. Have you thought about that at all? Or are you guys excited about playing in this arena?
I don't think I really thought about it. I mean, yeah, we're playing at Duke, and that's that's all you hear growing up as a kid, as one of the more so men's side. But I mean, yeah, it's just another opportunity to get out here. So yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like Jaylyn said, you always hear about the Duke in this arena, but I've never played here, and I'm excited to play in a new gym.
I have one question that came in. They, on paper, their numbers defensively are really strong, and you guys excel offensively. What have you seen from them on the defensive end of the floor that you'll have to execute well for it to be successful?
I think it just goes back to what I said earlier. Like, we just got to focus on us. It's not really anything defensively that I guess we've seen that hinders what we can do. We just have to execute and maintain like our foundation of what we do offensively.
Anything else for the student athletes? Thank you both.
Thank you.
Have a good practice.
Thank you.
Jaylyn, do you know where?
Didn't realize I was late, though.
Good morning. Welcome to Duke University in Cameron Indoor Stadium. Today we have head coach in her 7th season, J.R. Payne with the University of Colorado. Reminder to please silence all your cell phones. And for those who are on the online component, feel free to ask questions. And we'll open questions for Coach.
Bob Sutton with the AP. Second year in a row, how important is it to maybe to win a game and kind of get to that next step?
Yeah, I mean, our goal every single time we take the floor is to play great basketball. Tomorrow will be no different. Today's practice will be no different. Shoot around. I think we've done a great job in our program of really striving for excellence every single day. So that'll be the goal, tomorrow when we play, and hopefully that will end in a victory. But the goal isn't, we need X amount of wins. We want X amount of. We just want to play great, and we feel that if we do play great, we give ourselves a great chance.
Brian Howell from the Boulder Daily Camera. You've had a few days now to learn about Middle Tennessee. In this tournament, so much about matchups. Mm-hmm. How do you feel like you guys match up with this team, and what have you learned about them?
Yeah, I mean, I think two great teams, 4 great teams, but 2 tomorrow for us will match up, and 2 defensive-minded programs that thrive on playing great defense and be able to create opportunities in that way. So, I mean, Middle Tennessee is a really great team. I think they're probably the best mid-major team in the country. They play hard, they're tough, they're fearless, they're everything you want in a basketball team. So it's definitely a challenging matchup, I think, for both teams, and it'll be a great game.
Looks like you had a pretty successful February for the most part. Have you been trending in the right direction, and is that something that you've seen continue here the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, I think the past 10 days or so we've had since our last game have been really good for us. It's kind of nice to have a few days of practice where you don't necessarily know who you're playing, so you don't prioritize anything other than how can we be better, by the time we, roll them out again for a game. And so it's been a great couple weeks. We've feel like we've improved in some areas that we wanted to improve. And we definitely feel like we're playing well at this time of year.
Can you compare this year compared to last year and this experience? You've got, a couple players with tournament experience under their belt this year now, and how that's going to help going forward.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people have asked that, how is this year going to be different, or how is it different? I think most of us that were part of last year's team have been fueled by last year's result, for most of the season, and have worked really hard to make sure that we're, not just physically prepared, but also mentally prepared for a game or a moment like this. And so the last, week or so, we've really just tried to, again, focus on ourselves, focus on shutting out, any outside noise, put on blinders and just focus on what has allowed us to get to this point, in the season, to where we're playing great basketball. We're very unselfish ball club where we, continue to celebrate each other and each other's success. And so that's where our focus has been.
How big is this for the program that, years ago you used to go to this tournament all the time, and before you got here it had been a while, and now 2 years in a row. How big is this for the program to kind of be laying a foundation that you hope continues for years to come?
Yeah, I mean, it's huge. Every team in the country wants to be in the NCAA tournament. Everyone wants to be playing in March. It's really difficult to do, and we play in a really tough conference that it's also difficult to win, in the Pac-12, and to be able to put ourselves in this position that we're in is huge for our program. This is where we want to be. This is our expectation every year, as we're training in the spring, summer, fall, preseason through Pac-12 play. This is the goal, is to be here and compete for victories in March.
Can you talk a little bit about Erinette and what she's brought to the team this year, the Pac-12 tournament, and maybe a presence that you were missing last year's tournament that is, big for you guys this year?
Yeah, it's been really, really fun to watch Airnet, blossom throughout the year. We recruited Airnet in high school, as most of you know. And when she spent her first year at Arizona, we were really fortunate to be able to get her, after she transferred from Arizona. So, she's incredible. She's a great teammate. She works hard. She's, one of the most athletic players I've probably ever coached, as far as having the rare combination of size and skill and mobility and things like that. So definitely Airnet's had a great year and continues to get better and better. I do think her best basketball is going to continue to be ahead of her, and she's going to continue to grow. Being a part of this tournament is going to help her in that development, and we're excited to see where she's going to be, throughout her career.
At this time of year, every conference likes to say they're the toughest conference. How has the Pac-12 prepared you?
Yeah, I agree. There's lots of people, that say that. I love the Pac-12. I think I could go through every single team in our conference and talk about why they've helped us be a better team this year. There's size that we've played against. There's athleticism. Every single team is extremely well coached. You have to be adaptable, as coaches, as players. And so I just think that we've seen a lot of different things throughout conference play. Whether that's zone defenses, zone offenses, press defenses, press offense, all the different types of things you want to have seen prior to getting to this point. We've seen it. And I think our team is a mature group that's pretty adaptable, so tomorrow's game might look different, might not, as far as what they throw at us, offensively and defensively. But I do think we've seen a lot of different things, and we'll work to be adaptable.
One more question, and the student athletes answer this as well. But 2 weeks since your last game, what, as a head coach, were you looking for in that 2-week break? And what were you looking to accomplish?
Yeah, I think our biggest goal was just to become more efficient, at what we were doing on both sides of the floor. Execution has been a big priority for us the last 2 weeks. Attention to detail has been a big priority. And I think that in the end, at this time of year, you've got to be able to do those things. You've got to be able to execute. You've got to be able to be precise, in what you're trying to do. And that's been our mission. And I think we've grown in that area.
Anything else for Coach Payne?
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.